Do you know that you can claim ownership of a property, whether a house or a land, that you have occupied for more than 12 years without the interference of the real owner? Yes, it is called adverse possession in law. Adverse possession, or squatter's rights, is a legal doctrine that allows someone to claim ownership of a property or a land under certain conditions. Now, let's break it down. Adverse possession occurs where a person who does not own a property takes control of that property and uses it as their own for a specific period of time to the exclusion of the rightful owner. And during this period, there was no interference from the rightful owner, and you that occupies the land, you may proceed to claim ownership of the land even without the owner's consent. I know at this point you might be thinking, oh, this is so unfair. Yes, that was what I was thinking before. But this principle exists to encourage the effective use of land. If the rightful owner of a property neglects their property and someone steps in to make use of it, the law may reward that person's commitment and efforts. Is this principle even provided for in any law? Yes, it is provided for in the statute of limitations of the various states. For example, under the Limitation Act of Lagos State, the time frame for adverse possession is at 12 years for private property, while for state-owned property it is 20 years. So, if you occupy a person's property for more than 12 years and they don't disturb you or interfere, they may lose their ownership rights. And if you occupy a property owned by the Lagos State government for more than 20 years, they may lose their rights to ownership. So will I just go to the Ministry of Lands and tell them, oh, this land is my own, I've stayed here for more than 12 years, and they will grant me ownership? No, these are the conditions you must meet. 1, there must be continuous possession. You must have been occupying that land without any significant interference or interruption within that specific period. Or let me say, you must have been occupying that place for more than 12 years continuously without any interference. But if the owner within this period occasionally pays visits to that land, or you yourself you abandon that land within that period, then you did not meet this condition. Number 2 is that you must use that land openly and notoriously. While you are using the land, people around that vicinity knows you and they perceive you to be the rightful owner of the land. They know what you're using the land for and they perceive you as the rightful owner. Of course, an adverse possessor cannot hide their occupation. Number 3, you must have had exclusive possession of the land. You were acting as the real owner of the land. Number 4, you must have been staying in that land without the permission of the rightful owner. For example, if you were a tenant or a licensed user of the land, then you're not an adverse possessor. Adverse possession is not automatic. It has steps. For you to formalize ownership, you have to go to the court to prove that you've met all the requirements. Are you telling me that the moment it is 12 years, the rightful owner is completely shut out? Not at all. The court gives them the room to actually show evidence that they tried to reclaim their property during that 12 years. So, if the rightful owner can prove that they made efforts to reclaim their land during that statutory period of 12 years, then the adverse possessor will have to give up the land. Now, this is a lesson to all property owners. Monitor your property. Make sure you check them regularly to ensure that no one is using them without your consent. Take actions on time. If you notice any unauthorized occupation, make sure you assert your rights early, because delay defeats equity and equity does not aid the indolent. So if you sleep on your rights, the court cannot help you. Lastly, make sure you keep records. Maintain proper documentations, including receipts, surveys, title deeds, because with them you can establish your ownership in court when disputes arise. And to the adverse possessor who is claiming someone else's land and occupying them, ensure you understand the risk involved. It might seem to you as an easy route to ownership, but it involves legal complexities and potential conflicts. You might be feeling somehow about this concept, but the truth is that this concept balances the rights of property owners and the concept of effective land use. What do you think about this concept? Do you think this concept is so unfair, so it should be abolished, or it is fair?